Welcome back. And the Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has formed a committee comprised of the Ministries of Tourism, Transportation, Civil Aviation, Culture and Antiquities to address the issues faced by tourism companies in Egypt. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi also reviewed on Sunday the final plan for the demarketing future administrative borders of the governorates. During a meeting with Prime Minister Ibrahim Mahlab and the Minister of Administrative Development Adil Labib, the President stressed the importance of extending all developed services and utilities as well as the administrative services to the regions which will be re-demarcated. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs invited the African ambassadors to Egypt to the ministry to garner support for its bid to secure a non-permanent seat on the UN Security Council in 2016. And we are joined today with Dr. Farghali Abdel Halim Taha. Hello, Doctor. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming and joining us today. Who's the former assistant to the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And we will be discussing a sort of an overview of all the political events that have happened during this week.
Thank you.
Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you.
Doctor, on our show in here on Nile Cruise. And I want to ask you, Doctor, there have been many procedures to promote tourism this week that took place. How successful do you expect those procedures to take place?
Actually, tourism is very, as you know, is very important to our country. It's one of the major source of the revenues to our economy. So any procedure taken to promote tourism, to improve it, to improve the treatment of tourists or to the infrastructure of hotels or transportations, or to avoid any transportation accidents, or to give importance or help to the travel agencies, whether it is Egyptians or foreign ones. It's all goes into the channel of the development of tourism. The steps are taken by the government right now are very important, and we should persevere and go on to take care of this economic field. And as you know, tourism is facing, within the last 3 or 4 years, a lot of problems, especially security problems, transportation accidents, and so on. So any action taken by the government and also by the people of Egypt, because for example, I have been myself to Sharm el-Sheikh and Hurghada within the last 2 or 3 years. All the shops.
Dr. Farghali, are you optimistic about the procedures that are taking place?
Of course I am.
Do you have hopes, because it's been doing, tourism in Egypt has been doing very bad due to the recent circumstances that Egypt has been going through?
I am really, but we have to be serious and take action continuously. We don't have to take action now and then relax after that. The tourism industry is facing some problems, not only security ones, but for example, as I said, transportation. For example, the treatment of tourists in some places by some ignorant or uneducated people. We have to improve our treatments to those. We have also to take care of our hotels, to improve the service and
we need to do more appealing packages abroad that would draw us. We have the medical tourism, and now we actually have another guest who will be talking about maybe the academic tourism, things that would draw maybe foreigners to come more often to Egypt. What do you think?
Well, regarding some aspects like medical tourism, we have to first improve our hospitals and our medical services in order to attract tourism from outside. For example, we have what's called conference tourism. And we have been a little bit successful in this regard. Within the last few years, we have been a little bit successful in conference.
In hosting conferences.
Yes, hosting conferences in Egypt. But as I said, like Tunisia, like Spain, we have to improve our roads. We have to improve our treatment to the tourists and improve our transportation facilities. all this comes
whole
together.
system together.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Farghali, moving to another very important decision that was taking place this week as well, was the decision to demarcate the new governance borders this week. What do you think is the significance of such a decision?
Well, it's only demarcation of the governorates, but it is a demarcation of the electoral constituencies also as well. So it is very, very important because sometimes we see governorate like Al-Wadi Gidid, and the governorate neighboring it to it is like Asyut. This is very big, and this is very small. And when you see Asyut, for example, you have a little line, a very narrow line of cultivated land in Asyut, and after that you find mountains. El-Wadi Gdid is a very vast and large governorate. Yeah. This helps in agriculture. This helps in building and providing houses to the needy people, and this also helps in security matters, in order to contain the borders and have control on it.
Dr. Farghali, can I interrupt Salma's question, please, and can I kindly ask you to explain to people and define demarcating, because many people do not understand what's exactly the meaning of demarcating a government, or so could you kindly elaborate more about demarcating, the definition of demarcating?
Demarcation of governorates is for example, if we have a governorate very small or slightly small, and the other one is very large, we have to cut one or two
sort of proportional
portion of area, or to annex some villages or cities from this governorate to the other one, and this will require after that a lot of administrative procedures to arrange, for example, administrative things which people need, like health, traffic services,
yep.
and
hospitals,
all this
facilitate
the move of the people. For example, a man in Al-Wadi Gdid or a man in Aswan, he doesn't have to move, for example, 100 kilometers to do something in the other governorate, because his governorate is small and the other one is a little larger. So demarcation is to cut and annex slight area parts of one governorate and annex it to the other one.
And facilitating services.
And facilitates services after thereupon.
Dr. Farghali, Egypt is seeking to gain a non-permanent seat in the UN Security Council in 2016. What chances does Egypt have?
Well, I think after the election of our president and after the election of our parliament, and the political maneuvers which is being done by our government, our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, our president, our image has been improved a lot within the last, for example, 6 months or more. So we have now the African countries, we have the Arabic countries, we have some European countries. Well, I think I'm very optimistic about this. We can gain support from a lot of countries in this regard.
Dr. Farghali, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain agreed lately to restore the full relations, the diplomatic ties with Qatar. That was in a meeting held in Riyadh last Sunday, and marking the start of, as we say, a new page. According to a joint statement released by the three governments, they say it's the beginning of a new era. Does this have any consequences on the Egyptian-Qatari relations, in your opinion?
Of course.
In what sense, if you can explain to us?
If Qatar is proved to be responsible and credible in stopping its aggressive actions towards Egypt and interfering in its internal affairs, and according to the statement issued by King Abdullah and the statement issued